Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Miss McCorkle. I'm coming to you with our very first theory video. And so I want to tell you a little bit about why we're doing this. So often during our piano lesson time, we take so much of our time trying to talk about note names and counts and all of the scales and chords and theory. And we run out of time and don't have enough time to actually play the songs that we're working on all of our lesson for that week. So what I've decided to offer is a video once a week that will be a reinforcement video that will help you with your note names and all of those theory components so that we don't have to take as much of our playing time to cover all of the theory. So this is, sometimes you'll have activities to do in your notebook. So before you start the video, you'll want to make sure you have a pencil and you have your notebook, because some of the things that I go over you'll need to write down in your notebook as reinforcement. So lesson 1, that's today, we're going to start with the basics with everybody, just as a review. And we're going to start with the staff, 5 lines and 4 spaces for the treble clef and the bass clef, and naming the notes. And then we're going to practice naming the notes, and that's to encourage you to be working on your flashcards each week, a few minutes each day. And everybody, even my older students, need that extra reinforcement, because you'll be a better note reader, and your pieces, you'll progress each week further in your pieces in piano playing if you know your notes better. So that's our goal for this week. This is lesson 1 in theory. So first we're going to start with the staff. And so in your notebook you're going to start, and we're going to always start at the bottom, and we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And then you can go ahead and close those in at the end with a bar line. Okay? And then I'm going to draw a treble clef at the beginning, which is a fishing hook. Let's see if I can get my video to pick that up. Yeah, I just need to make it a little darker. Come down to all the way to the bottom, cross over the second line, and that's our treble clef. Okay. So today when we talk about the lines and spaces, always remember that you start at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is our staff. Be sure you label that in your notebook, staff, and it's 5 lines, and then our 4 spaces come in between the lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we draw our actual notes in, the line has to go through the circle if it's a line note. So line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, and space 1, space 2, space 3, and space 4. Now I want to give you time to get that written in your notebook, so make sure you start with your staff, which is 5 lines and 4 spaces, and then draw your treble clef at the beginning, and then label your numbers from the bottom to the top, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then when you draw your notes in that are spaces, let's just write the word space on this side. So these are space notes. And then these are our line notes on the opposite side. So make sure you have all of that in your notebook. Now, most of you know that we name our line notes with a sentence that goes like this. Every good boy does fine. And we take the first letter of each of those words, E, G, B, D, F. So every is the first line. Good boy does fine. E, G, B, D, F. So write that in beside your line notes, E, G, B, D, F. And if you want to write that sentence out, if you're afraid you'll forget it, that's okay too. Every good boy does fine. E for every. Good boy does fine. Okay, so make sure you have that, and you take the first letter from each word, and that labels your lines for the treble clef. E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. Now, when you move from E to G, line 1 to line 2, you're leaving out the space in between. And so with our music alphabet, let me just jot that down here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's our music alphabet. When we leave E and go over to G, notice that we're skipping a note. And that note that we skipped was an F. So we're going to label our first space note F. Now when we leave G, line 2, and go to line 3, which is B, we're leaving out, we'll leave G, then we have to start again. We skip over A and go to B. So our second space note will be an A. Next, we leave line 3B and go to line 4D. So B going to D leaves out space 3, which is letter C. And our last one, when D goes to F, line 4 goes to line 5, we leave out space 4. And D going to F leaves out E. So notice that those spaces spell a word, F-A-C-E. That spells face. So space and face rhyme, so that's an easy to remember clue. You name your spaces with the word face, F-A-C-E. F-A-C-E, okay? And don't forget that you have 2 notes down under the staff, which the one that comes between the treble and the bass is called middle C, and the one right under the staff is called D. So this is our C, and this is our D. Be sure to label that in your notebook as well. Now, all of you started with the 5-finger position in middle C, and that's C, D, E, F, G. So those notes were C, D, E, F, and G. That's the 5-finger position in middle C. So all of you have had that. Okay, now, what I want us to do next is I'm going to show you a card, and I want you to write in your notebook 4 blanks straight in a row. And you're going to put the answer to each of these notes in the blank on your paper. So you're going to put number 1, and you're going to put 4 blanks. Now I'm going to do this one with you. Okay, so in blank 1, we're looking for the answer for this note. Since we first ask ourselves, is it a line or is it a space? And it is a space note. So actually it's in space 1. And we just did the spaces, so this is letter F. So you'll put it in your blank letter F goes in the first space. Next is the second space note. So your answer would be A. F, A, C is the third space, and E is the fourth space. So when you finish, you'll have 4 letters that will make a word, and this particular card's answer is F-A-C-E, face. Okay, I did that one for you. That's a freebie. Now, the next one you're going to do by yourself. Okay, so put number 2 on your paper. Okay, and you see how I have blanks. Your paper's going to have 3 blanks on it. And then we'll do together this card. I won't give you the answer, but I will help you with determining whether it's a line note or a space note. All right, so let's look at the first one. Is it a line or is it a space? Well, the line goes through the circle, so it has to be a line note. So we can't start at the bottom and count up. Line 1, line 2, line 3. So this is line 3. Now, if you'll recall, our sentence for helping with remembering the lines is every good boy. So boy starts with a B. So we put B down as our first letter answer. Now the next one is not a line note, it's a space note. And it's not in the first space, it's in space 2. So we use our F-A-C-E to find our answer. So it's not in the first space, but it is the second. So we use F-A. It would be the second letter in the word. So A would be our answer. And the last note is below the staff, but not a line through it. It is right under the staff. So that note is letter D. B-A-D. Bad. Okay? Now, let's let you try this one on your own. You'll have it written down as number 3. You need 3 blanks. So you start with this note first. Then you go to the middle note. Write your answer in the blank. Ask yourself if it's a line or a space. And then you do your last one and put your answer in the blank. So that should spell a word. Those 3 answers should spell a word. Okay, so I hope you've had enough time to get that down. Okay, and I'll check that when you come to your lesson. That's number 3. Okay, now this one's a little harder. This one has 5 answers. Okay, so we're going to start on this side. Ask ourselves if it's a line or a space. And put our answer below on the blank, the first blank. Next, line or space. Ask yourself, do I use every good boy does fine, or do I use F-A-C-E? If it's spaces, then it's F-A-C-E. Now this one comes under the staff. You have 2 notes under the staff. One has a line in it, one does not. Make sure you see this one does not. Put your answer in the blank. Next, ask yourself if this is a line or a space. And then either say your sentence, every good boy does fine, or FACE, depending on if it's a line or a space. Then write your answer in the fourth blank. Okay, and then our last one. As you can see, it is a space note, and the word that rhymes with space is face. So we start at the bottom and say FACE, and we put our answer for the fifth blank as an E. Now I can't wait to tell you this one, so I'm going to go ahead and let you check your paper. B, A, D, G, E. And what does that spell? Badge. Good job. Okay, so this is a short video, our very first one. It means work on your flashcards this week. This is what this is all about. It's to get you ready to work every day for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. All the right-hand flashcards. Every good boy does fine, FACE, and the two notes under the staff, letter C and letter D. Now when we do lesson 2, we will, or 3, I can't remember which it comes in, but the next couple of lessons you'll go to the left hand and we'll do lines and spaces in the left hand. So I'm signing off. I hope you've enjoyed your first theory lesson, and thanks for tuning in, and work on your flashcards. I'll see you at your lesson this week. Have a good week and happy holiday. Bye-bye.